It's always nice to discover a cult movie that no one talks about. If you're like me and you like trash, I've got a double feature for you today in Flesh for Frankenstein and Blood for Dracula. Flesh for Frankenstein stars Udo Kier, who's probably most famous for his role in Ace Ventura, or maybe as the elder vampire in Blade.
Do what you want, Frost. Doesn't make any difference.
In Flesh for Frankenstein, he plays the Mad Doctor, trying to create a race of perfect Serbians from the body parts of nearby men and women.
Something that will represent the finest feature of the Serbian ideals.
What do you mean by this? Serbian ideals? I've never heard about it before.
But Otto, you don't understand. The Serbian race comes in direct descent of the glory from the ancient Greeks.
Oh, I didn't know that.
He suppresses his sex drive, but it comes out when he touches certain organs.
Kidneys. Gallbladder.
Dr. Frankenstein and his assistant Otto need to find the head of someone with a large libido so his creations will reproduce. But they decapitate the wrong guy, which frustrates him.
It's magnificent. I knew we would find it. Otto, look at it. Finally we find the right head with the perfect nasum for my male zombie.
The guy they were really after is a stud named Nicholas, who gets seduced by Frankenstein's wife, who's also Frankenstein's sister for some reason. The movie was written and directed by Paul Morrissey, who was an assistant director for Andy Warhol. Their collaboration is why the film was marketed as Andy Warhol's Frankenstein. I have to say that this movie is bad, but in a really fun way. Udo Kier's German accent and weird performance is so hilarious.
Two girls? One man? He must be very powerful. Look at his head. That's him. That's the man we want.
It comes across like Tommy Wiseau's acting in The Room.
To know death, Otto, you have to fuck life in the gallbladder.
Joe Dallesandro speaks with an American accent, which is never explained, and his acting is so flat and terrible. For example, in this scene, he's coming to grips with the fact that his best friend has been murdered.
I'm listening.
Well, me and my friend, I had been drinking and we had been walking home. And somebody hit me on the back of the neck and dragged my friend into the bushes and cut off his head.
It's a nightmare.
No, it's not a nightmare because I woke up this morning and there was my friend. He had his head cut off. I had to bury him by the side of the road.
Why didn't they harm you?
I don't know.
That's a very unusual story.
Now on to Blood for Dracula. So, both of these movies were shot in Italy back in 1973, and due to some legal issues, the producers had to lie and say that the movie was directed by Antonio Margheriti.
Come si chiama lei? Antonio Margheriti.
Ancora?
Margheriti.
Un'altra volta, ma adesso vorrei proprio sentire la musica delle parole.
Margheriti.
In Blood for Dracula, Dracula is dying because he needs virgin blood, and he deduces that there's more likely virgins in a Catholic country.
Virgin?
Yes, because of the Italian church. They need virgins for their marriages.
So he packs up his coffin and travels to Italy. When he arrives, he meets an estate holder played by director Vittorio De Sica, who's gone broke from gambling. And this estate holder hopes he can marry one of his daughters off to a rich royal like Count Dracula.
I have heard fine things about your family and your daughters. I understand they've been raised according to the Holy Mother Church.
Meanwhile, the farmhand Mario, also played by Joe Dallesandro, has been having sex with some of the owner's daughters. Because they're not virgins anymore, Dracula gets sicker every time he bites them. which gives us my favorite line in the movie.
The blood of these whores is killing me.
Again, this movie has the same hilarious acting from Udo Kier.
I was curious. Do these girls have any suitors? Any boyfriends? There must.
It also has an over-the-top performance from Dracula's assistant Anton.
Where do you want these things?
Just leave them here. But we'd like the coffin brought up to the room immediately.
First of all, you're gonna have to help me lift the damn thing. And second, it goes in the chapel where Mrs. DeFury says it goes. You want it stinking up the whole house?
Well then, please, can we have the wheelchair brought?
After you help me with the coffin.
Are you our servant for our stay or not?
I'm no one's servant. I'm a worker here.
Oh, excuse me, please. I misunderstood. My vocabulary is not large. I thought worker and servant are the same.
You can find Blood for Dracula on YouTube, and you can also find Flesh for Frankenstein on a website called errata.ga. But be warned, that site is definitely not safe for work, and both of these movies are X-rated.